This martial art has single and double stick variants, so often people will start with a single stick and advance to double stick technique. You want to have one fist at the end, almost like you're trying to swing it like a baseball bat, because you want it there to be hooking around limbs and sticks. One, two, three, four, five. For the Escrima, there's a couple of different patterns that are called weaving patterns in English and Sinawalis in the language of the Philippines. Don't ask me what the language of the Philippines is. I only know so much. Now, here's the thing. This pattern needs to always have the same spot. So the first pattern we're going to work on is what I like to call the high-low pattern. And it has a strike coming in from the right on the open side, all the way down to the bottom. It comes back to me in the middle, and it comes down on the end. So it's open, low, closed, close high, open. I'm saying that all based off the right hand. You can do it with both sticks, and then it would be open, low, low. However, let's start with level number one. So if I'm here, I go high, low, and I've got to come back up. So with a single stick version, I think of it almost like there's a clock. I have to always hit each spot, but I can't cross at the bottom. Touch, 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 touch. And what you want to work on when you're practicing this is you start to get a little bit of motion, and you want to move, and you want to have relative control. I'm currently hitting a pole, but you want to have a nice, light touch, tap, and control. You don't want to come up and hit something as hard as you can, because when you're doing that with your partner, I promise your partner will eventually get cranky. The thing is the thing that makes the pattern, the Sinawali, is where the strike is coming from. There's a bunch of other ways to have different strikes in the weaving pattern. One of the ways we often start students working with double stick is I got this here. High, low, same pattern. High, low, because remember, my first strike is here, my second strike is here, my third strike is here, my fourth strike is here. So high, low, 1, 2, 3, 4, and the pattern starts again, versus 1, 2, 3, 4, and the pattern starts again. So now once you have it, you and your partner, because the pattern stays the same, can switch back and forth from the pattern that you created from the single versus the double stick. We're still not done. There's one more that you can do. There's the single stick version for this pattern, which goes on both hands. There's the double stick, so it's high, low, touching each side. And then there's the single double stick. No one's ever explained to me exactly why you'd want to do this for a long period of time, but it seems so fun, so we keep doing it. You bring the sticks together, and now you treat them like one stick. I would go 1, 2, it's got to come all the way back, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that can weave with our single stick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Or it can weave within our double stick. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Da, 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 da. When you start working on a pattern like this, the key is starting slow. Slowest moves smooth as fast. Even if you're just thinking reach out 1, reach out 2, and you're doing it in the air. 1, 2, do it in the air. Because what you want to do is start to feel the pattern in the flow. And for a student starting, it's better to go slow and hit every mark than it is to go fast. Then as you go, you're going to start speeding up a little bit. And once you start speeding up, that's going to be a sign that you really are starting to get the flow of the pattern. Then you start working with a partner, and there's more challenges that can come up, because depending on how far away they step back, they move forward, how far away they reach with a stick. A lot of students at the beginning will reach and strike like this, which is a good way to lose a hand, at least in the real world. You have to reach all the way out and across. And so, as you're working with that partner, you add a level of complexity to it. So you start slow again. You start to speed up. You start to speed up. You start to speed up. And once you get really good at these patterns, then you can start breaking the pattern and adding disarms, strikes, and techniques to go from inside the pattern to a next step. That's a whole nother conversation. Sinawali pattern number 2. This one is one that usually gets students tripped up. I always do this from the double stick position. There may be a single one. I want my favorite hand, my dominant, so this is going to be my right hand on top, my left hand on bottom. And this is what I would consider guarding position. So we have lots of different positions to get set up and guard with any kind of weapon. This is the one that you need to be in to start this Sinawali the easiest. What I'm going to do, I take my top stick, I strike over, and it's going to come through. My bottom one, right to the ribs. And what has to happen here is they must switch. So my top stick is going to strike. My other one's going to come to the shoulder. And I come through. The one that's on the shoulder will always be the one that is the hand of the shoulder. You're never going to see this for this pattern. I know there's going to be somebody in the comments saying it's possible. Try to keep it as simple as possible for everybody to do. Top, all the way through. Bottom, switch. Top, bottom, switch. Top, bottom, switch. That should be your goal. Now, this one, when it gets more advanced, the way it was described to me, you have like your middle, but you've got your heaven, so you're aiming high, or your earth. Because, you know, if you hit somebody in the knee with a stick hard enough, that does help. I can go top, leg, top. So I can go high, high, low, high, high, low. Or high, low, high, high, low, high. That one's a little bit trickier for me. Or you can go low, low, low. Or you go low, low, high. Low, low, high. The reason for doing these Sinawali and weaving patterns is we really want to make sure that we have gotten very, very good at moving through these positions with flow. A lot of times when we do martial arts, especially traditional martial arts, it's easy to get caught up on the frozen picture. I remember the books from back in the old days. You literally saw the picture that was frozen, and that was the karate. The reality is that in all martial arts, it is in between the movement where everything actually is happening. And so the Sinawali pattern helps us build a flow and the comfort with moving a stick or moving a weapon through the air without hitting ourselves. In general, you notice, because I talk with my hands, you know, I'm like 1/16th Italian is the word. Anyway, because I talk with my hands, I have a lot of movement, especially when I'm talking to you. However, I feel very confident I'm not going to accidentally hit somebody in the face or hit myself because I'm very comfortable with the weapon. And that's where you want to get to, where you know where the weapon will be, whether you're thinking about it or not, and it doesn't have to be fully intentional. Because at the end of the day, your weapon should become, I know, cliche, a part of the hand. It should really become a thing that, like, you aren't thinking, I am going to swing stick. It is the stick will be here. I am going to hit them in the face. And that, when you have it, is the moment where you're really starting to get to a place where you're ready. So, if you want to see more martial arts content, tips, videos, curriculum, subscribe down below. I hope to see all of you on the mats and enjoy. I don't know what y'all are enjoying. I don't know what I'm doing here. I'll see all of you on the mats. And if you have any questions, leave a comment down below.